Alright, in this video I'm going to talk about how life kind of works like a simulation. And now I'm not trying to push any ideas on you, I'm just going to share with you a perspective that I have about life that might be of interest to you. So I kind of think life almost works like a computer that's kind of working at this set like processing rate. And lots of times that I've found is just having this mindset and then taking risks. When I've taken risks in my life, when I decided to drop out of college, for example, I decided to change the simulation that I had running in my life. I said, I don't like this aspect of my life, I don't like college, what's going on here, I'm depressed. So I decided to drop out of college. I decided to take a big risk. Everyone was like, what are you doing, Luke? Why would you drop out of college? It was like my first quarter in college and I just dropped out. It was the first major risk I ever took in my life. And it was weird, it took about 6 months. But after about 6 months after I dropped out of college, it's almost like I took out a big chunk of memory from the simulation that was life, and 6 months later it was like the simulation slowly reloaded with new stuff that I actually wanted to be a part of. Suddenly, just randomly, I made this really cool friend who showed me around. So I kind of took this huge risk, not knowing where the future would take me, but I just kind of felt it in my heart, and I was kind of thinking of these weird ideas about life. And things just worked out beyond my imagination. And yes, it took time for the simulation to reload. It's like I had to learn to kind of trust the simulation. Right when I took the risk, my insides felt really good. My self-love and respect went up because I took a risk and I followed my heart. I think that's the major gain, internally right away once you take a risk, because it's like life's adventure, and I'm going for it. I'm actually going to live. If you think about what you're doing existing, and then if you think about why wouldn't you take a risk, it's like a no-brainer. Take a risk and go live life. But right when you take a risk, usually things don't work out. You have to let things crumble. You have to let the old world collapse. And then slowly a new world starts to appear, just like in a simulation. It's life. I definitely think there's some higher intelligence to life that's kind of reading what I'm doing and then regenerates the world based on how I think about it. I set some weird intention. I'm not big on, I don't like the law of attraction or the secret stuff. I think the world is way more complicated than those ideas present. But it's like I said, I take some risk and I set some intention, the world automatically loads the new reality that I want. It's really freaky, and I know this probably sounds crazy, but just in my experiences over the last 4 years, this has happened time and time again. Another example would be, so a year and a half ago, I was doing all these crazy things to pick up girls on the street, and I went up to one of my friends and I was like, I'm really inspired to make a Picking Up Girls YouTube channel. I had this friend who was a fitness model, and it was the most excited I've ever been about anything. I just started watching Simple Pickup and I was like, these guys are awesome. I think we could do what they do and do it in kind of our own style. And for about 3 months we started taking action. We kind of got a camera, we filmed a couple times. But things just didn't work out. My friend lived in a different city. But kind of just coincidentally, I ended up meeting Fred and Brian while out picking up girls. I actually got into a fight. It was this one of the biggest nights of my life. I got into a fight. It's this long story. And the next day, Fred comes up to me and says, hey, we saw you get into a fight. We just wanted to come up and talk to you. And apparently Brian and Fred were talking about starting a YouTube channel. And they were wondering if I wanted to partake in it. And at first I actually said, nah, I'm actually already going to do a YouTube channel with one of my friends. And I actually passed on Fred and Brian. Later on I hit them back up and I said, it's not working out with my friend, can I work with you guys? And it worked out perfectly. And then whatever has over 1 million subscribers right now. So just out of random, I had this huge intention and excitement about starting a YouTube channel. It didn't work out like I expected it. Life surprised me, and it's like a simulation. Out of the simulation, 2 people actually came up to me and wanted to start a YouTube channel with me. It's like the simulation just loaded it to me just because I had that huge intention and all the excitement about it. It was really freaky. And that's the second big time, it was life was talking to me and something big happened to me. And then the third time, once we were getting kind of big on whatever, we were established around 300,000 subscribers, actually probably less, 200,000 subscribers. In my heart, I felt like something was wrong. I didn't like the direction the channel was going in. Just something felt off. Internally, I think I was starting to do it just for the fame, rather than enjoying the process of making the pranks. Something just felt off, and I realized I was more passionate about making videos talking about my insane philosophies, dating, social anxiety, all that type of stuff. And it was really hard for me to say, I'm going to give up this fame and start my own vlog channel. It was really hard for me. But it was like this simulation. It was like life was like, you know you're living in a simulation, Luke. All these crazy things have already happened to you. Now we're giving you the ultimate test. We're going to give you all this fame and see if you still follow your heart. And it was hard for me, but I decided to drop the fame, start my new channel, vlogging, and follow my heart. And again, it took some time for the simulation to reload. I dropped this big part of my life. I took this part of my life out of the simulation, and slowly over the last 6 months, it's like the simulation has reloaded with what I truly want in my life. I've gotten to know two really big, really cool dating coach type of guys who kind of just randomly came into my life once I stopped making the prank videos. It's like I wanted to make these vlogs about dating, and suddenly I met Morten Hawk, who was he holds a huge dating and personal development conference in Norway, and he suddenly came into my life, and I hung out with him for like 2 months. And now I'm hanging out with Shogo Garcia a lot, who's a big dating coach. He worked with the real life inspiration for the movie Hitch. He was his top coach. And it's like I dropped something from my life. I wanted to talk about dating, and the top dating coaches just come to me. It's almost really freaky. And the person who introduced me to these ideas was Steve Pavlina. The whole life is a simulation. I remember 2002, 2010, he blogged about all these ideas. And ever since those ideas hit me, it's like it's been true. I realized it, I started taking more risks, following my heart. And it's like the simulation keeps testing me, and I set these intentions, and the intentions later become true in like the most magical, unpredictable ways. It's really cool. And what happens, there's this random internet blogger sharing these ideas with me, and 3 years later, I actually hang out with him, and I made a product with him that we're going to release soon. But how freaky is that? So the battery died filming that last part. It was like I was telling the Matrix that, yes, you're a simulation. The Matrix was like, system error. And now my battery's back charged. We're live. So it's just crazy how the guy who introduced me to these ideas, that life could almost be like a Matrix simulation. And then later on, I actually meet up with this guy and make a product with this guy. I met him in Norway. So can you see, am I going crazy, or is this subjectively for me actually kind of how life is actually working? So I just wanted to end this video by saying, maybe you're living in a simulation right now. Keep the possibility open in your mind. And think about this. The whole point of the Matrix simulation right now is to make you believe you're not in a simulation. You're starting off in this kind of chaotic world. You're poor little me. Nothing makes sense. The Big Bang happened out of nowhere. Doesn't it seem a little odd? Maybe you're in a simulation and you're actually going to start waking up. All I'm asking of you is keep your eyes open to the possibility, and if for some reason your heart tells you to take a big risk, go for it. See what happens. Something magical might happen to you. Wake up, Neo.